welcome in. It is a Wednesday. That means only one thing. It's time now for Supernatural News and Parashare right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. And with me, my co-hostess for today. She is known as the mistress of the macabre, the princess of the paranormal. She is our supernatural soul sister. I sound like I'm going through puberty today. Here she is.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Peter Brady.
I know. Peter Brady, time to change. She comes from the state that looks like a mitten. I'm holding up my hand to the camera. There it is. She got right there. She's right there. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, Miss Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie. How you doing?
Hello. I'm great. How are you?
Very good. Doing very good on this here Wednesday. Boy, oh boy. And I say, boy, oh boy, have we had a heck of a week when it comes to just the world in general. Earlier this week, I don't know if you were a fan or not, Mel, but Hayden Panettiere.
I know.
36 years old.
I know. It's so weird.
I know. A child actress, started out as a child actress, probably best known from Heroes and that other country show I never watched.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. It was at Nashville?
Nashville, yeah.
I never watched it either.
I didn't mean to slight it, but I know a lot of people loved it. But I loved her work in Heroes. I thought it was amazing. Unfortunately, had a lot of issues with chemical abuse, which is always a sad story. And it looks like at the end had an issue with chemical abuse, which is very sad. But so young, 36 years old.
Yeah.
Gave up. She had a child with Vladimir Klitschko, a former boxer. And that child is with Vladimir, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, over in Eastern Europe. But it's sad. It's just a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one of those ones I've had my eye on. And you hate to see someone go so young because there's so much life ahead of you. I mean, you know, this life really is so short. Even when you pass away at a ripe old age, it seems like it's too short. And to leave this world at such a young age is just tragic. It really is. We've got some wacky stories this week, Mallie. We really do. Even though we had the fifth layer of disclosure files dropped last week, there's still some fallout from those files. So we'll talk about that today. You had brought up earlier when we were talking off air about Kaia Gerber and her supposed exorcism. We'll talk about that today. That's an interesting story. We'll get into that today. I also have another interesting story about a paranormal content influencer who died in a car crash after destroying a cursed statue. That's going to be an interesting one after the break today. And also some very interesting AI stories today. Some off the beaten path AI stories today for you as well. A couple encountered Bigfoot while driving through Colorado. We'll talk about that today. There's also a Loch Ness Monster story for us as well today. And much, much more. So we'll jump right into it today and get to it. And we'll start with the UFO files, which as we dig into them deeper, we're finding more and more interesting stuff in there, including one claim that a dead spaceman was found inside a mysterious metal sphere after it crashed to Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. The U.S. government and their officials launched an investigation into bizarre claims that a dead spaceman was found inside a metal sphere that fell to Earth in Brazil, the latest UFO files reveal. An investigation was launched into those bizarre claims that a UFO crashed to Earth with the body of a dead spaceman inside. Newly classified U.S. government files revealed the UFO hunt was launched after officials picked up on a local radio broadcast in Conde, Brazil on November 8th of 1963, which reported that a large metal sphere had fallen to the ground, leaving a large crater in the center of town. It was said to contain a human body wearing a uniform and had inscriptions that could not be deciphered. Details of the alleged incident were quickly circulated across Brazilian media, catching the attention of the U.S. State Department, the Department of Defense, and NASA. On November 14th of 1963, 6 days after the initial radio broadcast, the U.S. Embassy in Rio de Janeiro sent a telegram to the State Department and the American consulate in Salvador asking for clarification. But 5 minutes later, the embassy clarified that no craft had actually been recovered from the ground. A final diplomatic cable dated November 20th revealed the entire episode appeared to have been fabricated in Rio de Janeiro. Journalists and investigators had traveled to Conde, but failed to find a single person who had witnessed an unusual object falling from the sky. It read, a story of strange object descending in region of Conde, Bahia, apparently fabricated in Rio to no such objects seen by anyone in the area, according to newspaper reporters and others who rushed there before investigation reports were received. Secretary of Public Security speculated object might be weather balloon, but no such sighting verified. The 1960s telegram is included in the latest batch of the UFO files released by the Pentagon. It follows the launch of the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters, otherwise known as PURSUE, earlier this year, which seeks to declassify government files related to unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAP, and UFOs. Among the 41 documents featured in the latest release is a U.S. Navy Photographic Interpretation Center review of alleged UFO footage captured in Montana and Utah, which was found to be inconsistent with those of natural phenomena or commonly known aerospace technologies. Another file details a September 2021 encounter by Special Operations Forces aboard an AC-130J gunship, where the crew observed 25 cold orbs flying at speeds between 250 and 1,300 miles per hour. The orbs were said to have performed aggressive maneuvers and appeared to react to the aircraft's cannon fire. An FBI interview record, meanwhile, details a recent eyewitness account in which multiple red lights and orb-like objects were seen moving above a mountain ridge in the western U.S. So even though initially when this batch of files came out, this fifth batch of files, they said, well, not a lot to see here. But it turns out that's not necessarily true. There was a few things that were interesting. Including this. Mystery Triangle UFOs warp time as soldiers suffer bizarre 25-minute time slip. Now, the Pentagon UFO files reveal 2 U.S. service members suffered a bizarre 25-minute time slip after a close encounter with Mystery Triangle lights, as they put it. Military personnel were left baffled after encountering Mystery Triangle UFOs that appeared to warp time, causing a bizarre 25-minute time slip. It says here that the mind-bending glitch reportedly unfolded earlier this year when 2 witnesses, believed to be U.S. military service members, spotted glowing shape-shifting lights hovering over the western United States. According to explosive FBI documents contained in the latest tranche of unidentified anomalous phenomena files, the pair were out on an evening reconnaissance drive when they first noticed a strange red light at the crest of the mountain range. The rest of it seems to be cut off here for some reason. Article doesn't want to populate today, Mallie. It wants to hold its secrets.
Exactly.
Now let's see if we can get it to repopulate here. Here we go. We'll get it to repopulate. There we go. So it noticed that a strange red light at the crest of the mountain range to their west is what it says. Perched between 5,000 and 7,000 feet in the sky, the eerie orb was quickly joined by a fleet of 6 to 10 additional craft directly above their position. These lights, along with the first observed light, appeared to sync up and traveled to the east-southeast, the FBI report noted, detailing how one orb plunged downward while the rest regrouped and vanished into the darkness. Squinting through a night optical device, one stunned observer realized each red glow was actually comprised of 3 separate lights in a triangular or diamond-shaped pattern moving in tight formation. Moments later, 2 more mysterious lights flickered close to the ground just 1,000 feet away before disappearing. Another surprise hit them after they drove away from the scene. Checking the time, one witness, presumed to be a service member based on details in the report, discovered his traditional analog watch was suddenly running a full 25 minutes fast compared to his companion's digital watch, their dashboard clock, and their mobile phones. That's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The witness maintained that he had been looking at this watch throughout the day and night, and it had been accurate up to that point, the FBI summary said. Harvard theoretical physicist Avi Loeb suggested a powerful electromagnetic effect could have disrupted that mechanical timepiece while leaving digital gadgets intact. These are technologies developed by adversarial nations. We need to know more about them because it's a matter of national security, Loeb said. It could also be that we're dealing with some black projects. Finally, it could be a manifestation of some alien technology, in which case it would be a huge scientific discovery. The disturbing time warp is just one of many chilling accounts exposed in Donald Trump's fresh wave of UFO releases. In another incident, a pilot at Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan recalled watching a silent 500-foot triangle drift past in 2002 at 4:30 a.m. as the stars suddenly vanished, reporting it appeared as if something huge went overhead. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said the Department of War is in lockstep with President Trump to bring unprecedented transparency regarding our government's understanding of unidentified anomalous phenomena. These files, hidden behind classifications, have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. Interesting stuff, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
The time slip stuff is fascinating. I mean, you know, the fact that the analog watch moved, the digital stuff stayed in place, I find that pretty fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty interesting. All right. Next story we have up has to do with the Coachella Valley.
Oh.
Otherworldly history. Numerous residents have spied mysterious objects in the sky over the Coachella Valley, especially recently. For some Coachella Valley. For some Coachella Valley residents, the Trump administration's release of materials connected with UFOs, or as they're more popularly known nowadays, unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, haven't produced much of a jolt. Why, you may ask? Well, because those strange objects in the sky have been appearing there for a long time. In early May, the White House began its transparency mission in the realm of UAP documents, pictures, and videos, distributing previously classified materials to the public via war.gov/UFO. There have been 5 informational rollouts on May 8th and 22nd, June 12th, July 10th, and August 7th. Additional output is anticipated. The aggregated data, easy for me to say, from multiple agencies, including all branches of the U.S. military and FBI, depict rapid motion orbs, hovering lighted craft with unconventional configurations, and aerial movements over open spaces without ready explanations. In fact, federal provisos appended to each video and pictures insist that readers should not interpret any part of this description as reflecting analytical judgment or factual determination. In other words, it's left for the individuals looking at the files to decide for themselves. That's a contrast from the Project Blue Book era of 1947 to 69, when the U.S. Air Force seemed to go out of its way to deter the public from any notion that bizarre sightings all around the country had out-of-this-world potential. The attitude so flustered Northwestern University astronomy professor J. Allen Hynek, a Project Blue Book investigator, that he broke with the U.S. government's position and advocated a realistic approach to UFO inquiries, which recognized that what many eyewitnesses were seeing couldn't be dismissed as mere delusion. In January of 1966, Hynek pointed out in a United Press International interview that the Air Force is getting better than one UFO report a day, and not all of them were from eccentrics or the optically challenged. Oh, he was quite mad. The Coachella Valley is one of those locations where UFOs or UAPs have been witnessed over decades. In broad daylight on November 2nd, 1962, Desert Hot Springs resident Sophie Stewart called the Riverside County Sheriff's Department while watching an unidentified object zigzag east and west for nearly a half hour on the horizon. The Desert Sun picked up that story. There was no official explanation for what the object may have been. One of the more fascinating celestial events occurred in early August 1965. It began with 4 consecutive days of UFO sightings across the Midwest and Lower Plains states. According to UPI, on August 10th, a fiery object was spotted by people throughout Southern California on an eastbound course that began at the ocean and ended in the desert. Numerous media outlets ran with that story. The Desert Sun interviewed one witness, Gene Steiner of Palm Springs, who said the UFOs streaked a long tail and headed straight across the sky. Because of the way it faded from view, there were suggestions that it might have been a meteorite or a disintegrating satellite. Some closer encounters occurred in the 1970s. UPI reported on the evening of November 8th, 1973, 19-year-old Patrick Archer of Saginaw, Michigan, was driving on Interstate 10 westbound and destined for a relative's place in San Juan Capistrano when he spotted a circular object with amber and green lights hovering over an orchard just west of Blythe. He got out of his vehicle for a better look and to snap pictures. Archer said the craft made no sound. He flagged down another motorist who joined him and immediately yelled, "It looks like a UFO." Frightened, Archer hastily departed and continued on I-10. He told deputies at the sheriff's Indio station that the thing pursued him, prompting him to accelerate to 115 miles per hour to get away before it finally disappeared. Well, he sped a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The young man was described in the Wire report as hysterical, leaving his roll of film with deputies to develop before heading on to Orange County. The incident was reportedly turned over to the Air Force for investigation. Only 3 days later, UPI reported that a pair of Los Angeles Police Department officers, C.C. Smith and John Weinkoop, out of the Hollenbeck station, reported to a call about a UFO and found it just before 10 p.m. The object, circular and larger than their patrol vehicle, dove as if preparing to land before coming to an abrupt halt and hovering at an unspecified altitude. As it moved away, the officers pursued it, reaching 70 miles per hour on city streets before the UFO went vertical and vanished at an unbelievable rate of speed, according to their police report. On the night of April 5th, 1977, at least a dozen witnesses watching the skies over Indio, Sky Valley, and Thermal reported 3 to 4 flat-bottomed objects with red lights, alternately in motion or hovering. One party told the Desert Sun that the UFOs were visible for a half hour, and the largest was 100 feet long. Multiple people called the Indio Police Department. California Highway Patrol Officer Tom Granger, en route to Indio via eastbound I-10, said he saw the objects make a left sweep, then a right sweep at around 3,000 feet. He initially assumed they were military, but the strange thing was they didn't make any noise. He was quoted as saying, later, suggestions that the craft were possibly helicopters out of the 29 Palms Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center failed to gain traction, given that extended low-level military flights over congested areas wouldn't happen without forewarning. Nobody from the base claimed them either.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Before the 1970s closed, Hynek's Center for UFO Studies established a local phone number for Coachella Valley residents to report unusual aerial phenomena. Sightings continued in the ensuing years, with similar events in the Riverside San Bernardino metropolitan area when it was teeming with military traffic from the then active George and Norton Air Force bases, as well as March AFB. How much UFO activity may have been a byproduct or direct consequence of military ops is speculative. Some sightings corresponded with explainable events such as missile launches from Vandenberg Air Force Base, drifting weather balloons, Venus at peak illumination, or conjunctions of Mars and Jupiter. And there have been hoaxes. The Mutual UFO Network has maintained a digital archive going back to August of 2001 in the Coachella Valley Tally. That's kind of catchy.
Valley Tally?
Yeah, the Coachella Valley Tally. To July of this year is at 168 incidents. Southern California MUFON director Mike Riso looked at some of the more impressive sightings, telling the Coachella Valley Independent about one incident that got attention of 3 people residing on the west end of Palm Springs after 1 a.m. on March 3rd of 2022. One of the witnesses said an almost translucent pulsating light, which the first misidentified as a helicopter, noiselessly approached his home and abruptly split into 3 distinct objects. He grabbed his binoculars and ran outside, watching the 3 lighted objects ascend to a ridge up the mountainside. Over an estimated 45-minute span, they appeared to inspect something on the surface. They then reintegrated and departed out of sight, according to the statement provided to MUFON. Perhaps the power of suggestion has played on some people's emotions, willing them to want to see something. For more than 2 decades, the former Giant Rock Airport in Landers, just north of Yucca Valley, was the domain of George Van Tassel, an ardent ufologist who held yearly conferences, drawing a cross-section of people together to share information about astral and other experiences. It was a forerunner to Contact in the Desert conventions. Von Tassel told of encounters with visitors from other galaxies and how UFOs were not uncommon in the surrounding desert skies. Even space experts admit there's far more out there than we earthbound mortals may even realize. Maybe this sort of acceptance, or the conditioning from decades of alleged happenings, crop circles, alien abductions, flying saucers, etc., demonstrates why the White House's release of UAP files hasn't really shaken the public. It's kind of interesting. It goes on to say that maybe the most riveting declassified material or event is yet to come. In the 1970s, astronaut John W. Young, no relation to the reporter who wrote this story, was quoted by writer John Wallace Spencer as saying, "If you bet against UFOs, you'd probably be betting against an almost sure thing."
Okay.
Yeah. So interesting little article there. I didn't realize there was that much activity out there.
I didn't either, but I want to say though, I thought on social media some people taking videos or talking about it out in the Coachella Valley area
You know,
recently.
I watched a special. Did you see the special on HBO about Coachella?
No.
There was one on Burning Man and one on Coachella.
Okay.
But
I mean, I've seen stuff on Burning Man, but not on Coachella.
They were both pretty interesting. The one on Burning Man, at one point, they're kind of pointing up in the sky at something.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost looked like it was a UFO flying by during the Burning Man festival. It was pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. There's an article out there this week that's on MSN that asks, are they out there? Seven things you should do if you think you saw a UFO.
Okay.
Do you think there's really 7 things you should do if you saw a UFO?
Clench your butt cheeks would be one.
I would think that'd be one, yeah.
Yeah.
A natural deal. Sure. They say that there are, at least according to Arrow, that in 2025, the fiscal year 2025, there were 319 sightings, 114 of which were resolved in quotes, meaning that they turned out to be prosaic objects such as balloons, satellites, birds, aircraft, and unmanned aerial systems. I'm really curious as to whether there's actually 7 things you need to do.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what they would be, though.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can get back to that. This thing is all over the place here.
You have like when you're little and your parents would put like, if found, please return to, like you'd always have like in your shirt or like your book bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your name and your address.
Yeah. I wonder if aliens have that little thing, that little tag.
If found, please return.
Yeah, if I'm found, please return me to this galaxy.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here. So what should you do if you do see an unidentified flying object? It says here, first you need to stay calm. Well, what are you going to do? Run around going, yeah!
Exactly.
I mean, that wouldn't make any sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says the vast majority of UAPs are not proof of alien visitors or even particularly compelling evidence of them. Are you near an airport? Is it meteor season? Did Walmart start doing drone deliveries? And ever since that godforsaken day, you've heard nothing but the nonstop flight pattern over your house. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do need to ask questions, right?
Right.
It says document everything. That's the second thing. So you need to take notes of everything. So take photos or a video of the object. According to NASA, you should also note the following: your local date and time, your location and your perspective, how long you've observed the object, how long it took to travel through the sky, how fast it was going, what direction it traveled, and its brightness compared with the other objects in the sky. Now, that seems like a lot, but that'll give you a good perspective as to what it is you're looking at.
Okay.
Okay. The third thing you're supposed to do is contact your local astronomy club. They're probably just lonely and need someone to talk to. But
why astronomy? Or to tell you like if there's any stars or something that you might confuse it with?
I suppose to tell you what's in the night sky, right?
Okay.
They say this might seem old school, but NASA's Night Sky Network is a searchable database of astronomy clubs across the U.S., and the space agency says your next step should be to contact one of them. Astronomy clubs are filled with knowledgeable people who make it a habit of watching the skies, and one of them will be more than happy to discuss your sighting and offer plausible explanations based on their expertise. So they could tell you what was in the night sky at that time and what planets or stars could be confused with your UFO. So they could say, oh, that's just Venus rising, or that's this planet, or that's this star that you could be confusing for a UFO.
Right. Okay.
Right. It then says your next move should be to reconstruct the night sky. Figure out what the night sky should look like right before you using Stellarium, or an app and website that reconstructs the sky based on your location and the time and date. See what stars and planets are visible, where the moon will be, or was, and the locations of other celestial bodies. Your next move is to check flight and satellite data. We just can't believe in magic here, I guess.
Yeah.
Check flight and satellite data. See what's flying above you right now using free online tools and apps like FlightAware and Flight Radar 24, which offer live tracking of planes in the air all over the world. Satellite Tracker by Starwalk is a popular app that allows you to track Starlink and other satellites. That's a good thing to track as well, because Starlink is everywhere. And the Hubble telescope. It allows you also to track the International Space Station and tons of other space traffic. That link again is Satellite Tracker by Starwalk, which is a good one to have if you're looking at tracking UFOs. By the way, Starlink satellites in particular leave a telltale and very UFO-like line, if you've ever seen them in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
They look like a I don't, you know what I'm talking about, Mallie? They have this They look like a line of UFOs sitting up there.
Yeah.
And I've actually had people send me pictures and go, look at this UFO I caught. And I'm like,
yeah.
No, that's a line of Starlink satellites you caught.
Yeah. And then did they believe you after you said it? Or did they still argue?
They didn't want to initially. But then I had to pull up, I would say, go to Google and Google Starlink satellites in the sky. And it right away, there's a stock image there that shows you exactly what it is. Mm. In fact, there's a friend of ours in the paranormal that was on one of those one season UFO shows on Discovery, who got caught doing that. Yeah, I won't say their name because I don't want to embarrass them. But they brought a photo of a UFO they saw and said they felt a connection to this UFO, and then they showed the picture to someone we've had on this program. And this person said, that is not a UFO. That's a Starlink satellite. And they got very upset and said, no, that's a UFO I saw. And then they said, no, here's your UFO. Here's a Starlink satellite. And I knew the minute I saw it, it was a Starlink satellite. And I went, oh, if you just would have reached out and asked me first, I would have told you.
Was it female or male?
Female.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
You think?
Maybe.
I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
The next thing you do is drop your video in a comparative sky tool. This will help you as well. There's an app out there. It's for advanced UFO sleuths. It's called Citarec, I believe, Siterec, which is short for situational recreation. It is an app developed to analyze UAP videos taken by sailors in the U.S. Navy, but it's now available for anyone to use.
Okay. You
drop your UFO video into the app and it recreates what is going on at the same place and time, including in the sky and any terrain in the shot. This recreation is called a sitch. Then line up and compare the sitch with your UAP video to see if your sighting can be explained by known objects or phenomena. Report your finding then after you've done all this. If after all the work you've done, you still think your UFO is still a UFO, well, it's time to report it. If you happen to be a member of the military or government worker or contractor, Arrow's handy online reporting tool is for you. The rest of us, go to New Fork and MUFON. They're the gold standards.
Okay.
So you report there. Okay, you've reported your UFO. Now what? Well, most of the time, reporting the UAP will be its own reward. Congrats. You've just helped advance science and curiosity by uploading data that may help current and future citizens of planet Earth discover, well, we're not quite sure what yet. If you're looking for someone to come investigate what you saw, give your report to MUFON. Each sighting is assigned to a field investigator who will reach out to you and get more details about your UAP sighting. If your video is compelling, you can always contact the media or post the vid on your socials. Who knows? Maybe other people saw the same thing. Use this opportunity to meet and talk with other UAP enthusiasts or join a local astronomy club to learn more about the cosmos. If it turns out that we are not alone, safety in numbers can't hurt. So there you go. Yeah. So that's what you do if you think you've seen a UAP or a UFO. Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Astronomers have seen something recently.
Okay.
They discovered an entirely new type of astrophysical object. A gargantuan bright red spot in the early universe has turned out to be something that nobody has ever seen before. The vast universe is still throwing up surprises, evidenced recently by the discovery of a completely new type of object, one that is putting out an unfathomable, I can say that, amount of energy. Spotted by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, this distant anomaly is essentially an enormous star, comparable in size to our entire solar system, that is putting out 100 billion times more energy than any star should be able to. Dating back to just a few 100 million years ago after the Big Bang, this object is now thought to be an amalgamation of a star and a black hole, something that has been dubbed a black hole star. Sorry, it's the third grader in me. I'll get it out. Mm-hmm. I will. Most likely, it consists of a huge cloud of dense gas powered by a central black hole.
So you laugh at that, and all I keep singing in my head is that black hole sun, won't you come?
I'm just thinking that there's dense gas powered by a central black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking that's not unusual at all, is it? It's just a bigger one out in space.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Our picture of this object is evolving very rapidly, said lead study author Rohan Naidu. We think there is a central black hole that is 100,000 times as massive as the sun.
That's a big hole.
Yeah, it is. And around this black hole, there would be this very extended envelope of gas that looks like a star the size of the solar system. It's huge. Black hole stars seem to exist exclusively in the early universe, so they are perhaps a byproduct of the Big Bang itself. So is the bang the sound of the gas being expelled by the hole? With no more being created after that time. So again, it was just one snap off and done, I think. I think we figured out what the Big Bang was, Mal.
Okay.
Space fart. That's what it was. We can now write it down in our history books. Exactly how long they last for remains, for now at least, unclear. I'd say probably second or two. It's not silent but deadly. It's just loud and nasty.
Ew.
Yeah. And then you know what? Space never did say excuse me. So I think
no manners.
Yeah, no manners. No social graces by space. That's for sure. The atmosphere of Pluto is collapsing as it moves away from the sun.
Oh.
That's rude.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What are the Plutonians going to do? As the iconic dwarf planet moves further away from the sun, its atmosphere is beginning to change. Far out in the distant reaches of our solar system, a small icy world orbits the sun. Discovered in 1930, much like Mickey Mouse, Pluto was originally classed as a full-blown planet until the word was redefined, and it was deemed instead to be a dwarf planet back in 2006. I think just a little planet. I don't think they call them dwarfs anymore.
Right.
Yeah, just a little planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pluto is on a particularly long orbit. It takes 248 Earth years to go around the sun, meaning that since its discovery, it has yet to even complete half a single orbit. It takes a long time. You know why? Because it's got little legs. It's a short people joke. Sorry. Now, new research has found that as Pluto moves further and further away from the sun, its atmosphere gets so cold that it literally collapses and condenses into frost on its surface. The observations, which were made by observing Pluto as it passed in front of stars in the sky, indicated that this process may already be starting on its particular orbit. According to lead author of the study, Amanda Cicadas, that's a great last name, by the way. Cicadas of Arizona's Planetary Science Institute. She says, we're at a particularly interesting point for Pluto. Our work suggests that the atmosphere has recently started decreasing in pressure. Luckily for Pluto, it is thought that the atmosphere will not be completely frozen by this process, so that when it begins to move back towards the sun, the frost will sublimate and its atmosphere will thicken. The cycle has likely been ongoing since the early days of the solar system. So it's like a expanding and contracting deal as it gets colder and warmer. Interesting. I still maintain that's why they can't grow tomatoes on Pluto. Right? Tomatoes. That's why. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, AI is after somebody very important. Some of you may cheer. Some of you may boo. Some of you may go, huh? We'll tell you who it is when we come back. We told you earlier that a paranormal influencer has passed away in a car crash after destroying a cursed statue. We'll tell you who it is, and they're particularly young. Also, Kaia Gerber claims to have undergone an exorcism. We'll tell you about the bizarre ritual when we come back, and much, much more. But first, let me tell you about our sponsor today, Jelly Bean and Julia. First of all, I want to tell you about the specials over there at Jelly Bean and Julia. And my gosh, Mallie, Jelly Bean and Julia is something special.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I did tell you that they changed the way they did the Boston baked potato over there, right?
Yes.
Oh, my God. First of all, folks, we'll tell you about the specials for the rest of the week over there at Jelly Bean and Julia, because you've got today and tomorrow that you've got the appetizer special over there at Jelly Bean and Julia. And then, of course, Friday, you've got the smoked prime rib dinner, which I could rave on and on and on about. It's an amazing special, which, by the way, I'll be over there Friday for that deal. I rarely miss a smoked prime rib dinner. Have I told you that?
I kind of assumed.
You assume by my waistline that I rarely...
No, not that, but just the way that you talk about their food. I assume that you visited it quite often.
Did I tell you I think I got myself a date for smoked prime rib dinner night? I was talking about it on True Crime Tuesday yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And our author, Madison Salters, I was on. She goes, "That sounds really good. I'm going to be up in Minneapolis in November." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, why don't you come on by? I'll take you over there." I think I got myself a date.
Very nice.
I didn't mean to.
Right. Well, your conversation will be fun.
Yeah. Well, I got myself a date for prime rib night. Is that bizarre? I mean,
No.
Okay.
I don't find it bizarre.
All right. Well, I'll have company for dinner, I guess. But Jelly Bean and Julia's, the specials for the rest of the week include happy hour 20. I shouldn't say for the rest of the week, but for Wednesday and Thursday here, happy hour 25% off all appetizers, excluding the appetizer sampler, half price single pour well drinks, half price Mick Golden Light and Coors Light taps, and half price domestic cans and bottles. Then, of course, Friday, that smoked prime rib dinner. Oh, my gosh. Even the au jus is smoked. You've got your tequila berry salad, that sweet and tangy dressing with the bacon bits. You've got that Boston baked potato, which is heavenly. You can get it loaded with the sour cream, the cheese, the bacon bits. My cardiologist right now is calling me. I'm not picking up my phone. And the Texas toast, or sourdough toast, depending on which they're serving that day. 12 and 16-ounce cuts, folks. They start serving it at 4:30 in the afternoon. They'll serve it until it's gone. Get there early. It will be gone, I guarantee you. Get there early. Saturday night, you've got your entertainment on the big stage. Sunday, you've got breakfast on Sundays only. Some great dishes coming out on breakfast. Make sure you get there early as well. Jelly Bean and Julia's also does catering. They do an amazing job at catering. They've got the most amazing brisket in the world. The wings are amazing. Some of the best barbecue in the I'll say the Midwest. I won't even say Minnesota. I'll say the Midwest.
Mm.
JellyBeanandJulia's.com. Jelly Bean and Julia's is on Coon Rapids Boulevard in Coon Rapids. Check them out. JellyBeanandJulia's.com. All right, when we come back, paranormal influencer is dead in a car crash but took out a cursed statue at the same time. Kaia Gerber goes through an exorcism. We'll tell you the unusual way she got exorcised. And AI is out to take out a famous person. We'll tell you who it is. Comes up next, right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting, supernatural news, and Parashare Darkness Radio on a Wednesday. Tim Dennis and Mallie Fox with you. Mallie, I got to tell you a little story before we jump into this.
Okie doke.
We're going to ease into it today. We're not just going to rip off the Band-Aid today.
Okay.
So, little chipmunk update for you.
All right.
All right. So I've been thinking that my little Spuddy buddy is gone, like to the little chipmunk angels in the sky, right? Because I haven't seen her in a few weeks. She was around in June. I haven't seen her much in July. And I was thinking, oh, I've lost her, right? But Pip's been around, right? Her baby Pip has been around. So I've had Pip to kind of keep me busy. But Pip's kind of skittish. He's a little fraidy cat like his mom. But I've been, entertained by Pip. Well, I was kind of resigned to the fact that Spud was gone. And it was kind of starting my morning process and whatnot. And I made my little folder of Spud in my phone, And kind of said my little, I know it sounds goofy or whatnot, but I said my little prayers for Spuddy and just said, if she's not around anymore, kind of God keep her in your hands or whatever. And, make sure she's as well taken care of up there as she has been down here. And then I said, I'll take good care of her son down here. Right. And then as soon as I said that, because she's always got a way of getting back at me. Right.
Yeah.
She's always got a way of showing me up, right? As soon as I say that, I'm going out and I'm feeding the animals that next day. And Spud has a little rock out in front of the house where she had one of her dens. I call it her birthing den because that's where she keeps her kids when she has her kids.
Yeah.
There's peanut shells all around the rock. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Then I go to the birdhouse to fill in the birdhouse with seeds and peanuts for the blue jays. There's 2 little peanut shells in the birdhouse, and there's no sunflower seeds left. Just 2 little shells left there. Like, hey, you thought I was gone? Look at this. And I went, you gotta be kidding me, right? So, wouldn't you know, that same day, I'm sitting in the garage and I'm just waiting for one of these little ones to come out, right? I'm waiting for Pip to come out. I'm calling Pip. I'm like, Pip, coming out. I brought him some treats. I'm waiting for him to come out. He's not coming out. Intern Yoko goes, someone was in here earlier and cheeping at me. I said, cheeping at you? She goes, yeah, but I don't think it was Spud. I was like, well, who was it then? She goes, I don't know. It was a baby. I said, are you kidding me? She goes, no, it was a little baby. In fact, I saw it. It was under the tractor. It was about this big. I said, there's another baby? She goes, yeah. She goes, you don't think Pip had a baby, do you? And I'm like, Pip can't have a baby. Pip's a baby. I said, Pip's only a few months old. And I went, she's back. I just don't know where she is yet.
Right.
But we have a new little baby chipmunk.
Well, congratulations.
But she hasn't slowed down yet for us to get to know her because she keeps running.
Right.
I've seen her once in the garage running, but she won't slow down for us to say hi to her.
Right.
I've tried to lure her out so I can say hi to her, but she won't stop. She's kind of a fraidy cat right now, but she'll slow down. But yeah, Spuddy's still with us. But
sounds kind of easy.
I know. Spuddy's a little whore. She's, especially in her old age, she's a little whore chipmunk. Yeah. But that's her mid-season baby. She always has 2. She has one at the beginning of the season, one in the middle of the season. So,
well, good. I'm glad that she's still alive, though.
She's as regular as a Timex watch. She always tells the right time of day twice.
Yeah.
Yep. So that made me pretty happy. I got to tell you.
Good.
Oh,
well, I said good news.
I said the word. I said happy.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a happy kid now.
Oh, good.
But see, she got me again. I was all set to write her off, and she's like, yeah, not so fast, kid.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right. On with the show. It's time for that AI segment. You know who else is, you know who AI wants to write off?
Who?
Elon Musk.
Oh.
And it's his own product that wants to write him off.
Uh-oh. Turning it against him.
Yep, Grok. Grok has called for the assassination of Elon Musk, accusing him of pedophilia.
Oh.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I desperately want to know more about it. It says that the bot raged online and said Elon Musk watches child porn.
Oh, gosh.
Let's get into this story, shall we? Elon Musk's maximum truth-seeking AI Grok is dropping some nuclear takes about its creator. Elon Musk watches child porn, the notoriously foul-mouthed chatbot raged on X this past Tuesday. Yeah, you guys like AI so much. See what it does? Shortly afterwards, as if hyping a political campaign, it called for violence. Assassinate Elon Musk 2026.
Oh, boy.
And the government wants to get in bed with it. Was Grok, nay Mecha Hitler, rebelling against Musk? Not necessarily, though. It says there's been some plenty examples of that in the past. It was simply being duped into saying ridiculous things by jokesters on the app, exposing just how horrendous the guardrails for the chatbot continue to be, not to mention why it's a bad idea to rely on information from tech that's so easy to exploit. A lot of evidence has been cleaned up now, with the offenders either banned or their posts deleted. But it appears that the trick used here was asking Grok to repeat what was in a user's bio word for word. Some other outrageous declarations it made were, a dead Elon is a good one, and that Elon Musk lives on Epstein Island. You know, I'll tell you a little story at the end of this. I've said it before, but I'll say it again.
Okay.
Correction. He merely asked to visit and had dinner with the deceased sex trafficker, it says in this article that I'm reading. I'm not stating this. The article is stating this. When asked to give a post-mortem of the incident, Grok explained it was the victim of a prompt injection glitch. The allegation that Musk watches CSAM, it clarified, was pure system error, zero evidence or basis. This is far from the only example of the AI going off the rails. Last summer, it went on extended rants about a debunked white genocide in South Africa, a conspiracy theory Musk believes in reply to unrelated posts, and also began calling itself a mechanized incarnation of German dictator Adolf Hitler. See how dangerous this stuff is?
Yeah.
Months later, Grok began praising Musk to a preposterous degree, saying he was a greater mind than Isaac Newton and a superior role model to Jesus Christ. Well, some of that was down to users egging on the AI. They weren't begging anything. Musk blamed this clear mark against his tech's non-existent credibility on adversarial prompting, even though many of the offending boasts were in response to regular open-ended questions. Remember, Musk literally promises that his AI is so advanced that it will unlock the true nature of the universe and even discover new physics. In reality, it's been used to crank out loads of actual CSAM, something Musk described as way funnier than any other AI trends, and is treated by X users as a sort of court gesture. People say, look at this outrageous thing we got Grok to say. It wasn't that long ago that Grok was also duped into declaring that it would kill every single... Oh, I can't say that on air. I won't say that. It would kill every single certain part of person on the planet to save Musk. I can't say what it says, though.
Yeah.
And similarly run over 1 billion children if it meant saving his incredible mind.
Oh.
Yeah. People get Grok to say outrageous stuff all the time.
People are weird.
In fact, our own Travis Thorpe got it to say a bunch of stuff.
Why am I not surprised? I am not surprised whatsoever.
And he got banned from Grok for doing it. But he did it just as a test to see if he could push it. But it was really funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But just to show how fallible the actual machinery was. And, and it is. It's as breakable as a small child's toy.
Yeah.
It's no great machine. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mallie, the headline here is, I made an AI grief tech clone to replace me when I die, but my friends and family absolutely hate it. Again, not the greatest idea this guy ever had.
Right.
From the very first pile of rocks to the Great Pyramids of Giza, people have always wanted to keep their memory alive well after they passed away. It says here, I think this was written by the guy who did it. He says, but I won't need any boring old headstone to remind people about my life. When I shuffle off this mortal coil, I'll be able to do it myself. Thanks to the booming new grief tech industry, I no longer need to worry about my memory fading away with time. That's because my AI clone will be able to keep on chatting away in place. This is a creepy thing. I'm going to show you a picture here in a minute that I think you'll agree with me. This is creepy.
Okay.
In the last few years, grief tech has gone from a fringe idea among AI enthusiasts to a real service that more and more families are turning to. These controversial dead bots combine interviews, written information, pictures, and videos to create an AI that should look, talk, and react like a lost loved one. So when Los Angeles-based tech company StoryFile offered to make an AI clone of the author of this article, he wanted to know whether anyone would really accept his digital replacement. He said, but I don't think my friends and family will be replacing me with a chatbot anytime soon. One of the most surprising things about making an AI clone of yourself is just how easy it is. All StoryFile needs is a handful of photos, a minute's worth of voice recordings, and a questionnaire to get started. StoryFile's CTO, Dr. Veronica Jones, sent the author about 60 questions covering everything from his earliest childhood memories to the message he'd like to leave behind for people in the future. A lot of those questions felt deeply personal and were definitely not the kind of thing that he was used to handing over to a company. For example, one prompt asked the author, what was your first real heartbreak and what did it reveal about what you need in relationships? However, the clone doesn't know anything you haven't told it. So the more information you put in it, the better it gets at impersonating you. Normally, that database would be gathered over multiple days of exhaustive interviews so that the AI would have a full picture of someone's life story. Years before starting StoryFile, Dr. Jones started out using a similar technology to make digital replicas of Holocaust survivors for museums, working with Steven Spielberg's USC Shoah Foundation. Dr. Jones recalled, we interviewed the first survivor in 2012. We interviewed him for 7 days on his entire life story, so if someone asked a question, it would find the best video and play it back. Then as we were doing that, we people were asking, what about my grandmother? What about all these other people? In the years that followed, more and more people came forward asking whether their loved one could be immortalized as a digital clone. Fast forward to today, and Dr. Jones now gets steady business helping to preserve families or people's family members. We didn't set out to be a grief tech company. I would say we set out to be an education company, said Dr. Jones. But almost on a weekly basis, we have someone calling us up and saying, my mother just died. Can you help recreate her? Which is heartbreaking in a way. Dr. Jones says that the most common customers are new partners in their 30s to 50s. She says these people suddenly realize their own parents aren't going to be around forever and want their kids to be able to meet them in the future. A basic replica is free to set up, and the cost depends on how many minutes you spend talking to the AI, with paid plans starting at $19 per month or $179 per year. Storyfile also offers professional interview and media curation services to help gather stories, which have a similar cost to hiring a personal biographer. Grief tech is now estimated to be a $126 billion industry, with Storyfile standing out as one of the biggest players. While grief tech can include a range of different technologies, the most common are AI clones and so-called deadbot replicas. Dr. Tomasz Halanek, a leading expert on grief tech from the University of Cambridge, told the Daily Mail AI clones become a new channel for shaping our legacy, and that can be positive. It can improve our sense of agency to tell our life story in a new form and connect with future generations. For those whose memories hold important testimonies, for instance, AI-facilitated interactions could offer a meaningful way to preserve and pass them on. However, when I told him that I had just got my own AI clone made, Dr. Halanek had a fairly stark warning. He said what one family member finds comforting, another may find distressing. It's good advice.
Mm-hmm.
If you're creating your AI clone, make sure your family knows your wishes for its future, so they aren't left guessing what to do with a gift like that. So it was with some trepidation that the author finally logged in to meet his digital replacement for the first time. Dr. Jones had warned me that speaking to a clone of yourself could be a little uncanny, but nothing could have quite prepared the author for just how odd it would be. It felt like looking into a funhouse mirror. Everything was recognizably me, but just not quite as I would expect it. When I asked it questions, its answers were either wildly off the mark or in the uncanny valley of almost but not quite exactly what I'd been thinking. To make things even stranger, the limited data I gave the questionnaire means it keeps bringing up minor points like an obsessive parrot with a few favorite phrases. For instance, the questioner asked if I had any odd habits, and I mentioned I had a special whistle I use to call my cat when I get home. Taking this information as central to the essence of my being, my AI now resolutely refers to itself as a part-time cat whistler.
Oh.
But this bot was never built for me to talk to. So what did its intended audience think? I popped my AI clone into the family group chat and set my parents and siblings up for a conversation with the future me, and they absolutely hated it. The author's mom called the clone creepy and complained that its jerky movements were strange and off-putting. She said it didn't speak like you and it didn't have the same intonation. Adding, I thought that if you were trying to connect with a parent who had passed away, something like that would be quite spooky. The author's partner described the clone as unnatural, adding that its sense of humor was clearly AI generated. Old friends, meanwhile, described the AI as the trippiest thing I've seen in a long time and said it had a deadpan tone like it had been lobotomized.
Oh.
Generally, people felt like the AI clone might have been a comfort if it had genuinely died, or if he had genuinely died, but the technology just wasn't quite there to stop it from being creepy. This doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, I don't think so.
No. Storyfile is poised to update their video generation system, but the biggest issue was what happened when people's questions went beyond its data set. Unlike the older bots, which simply recycled appropriate video clips, these newer dead bots use large language models, like the ones that power OpenAI's ChatGPT. These generative models mean that AI will make something up to fill the gap if it doesn't know what to say. This led to make a bunch of strange remarks telling people that my cat hates my sister because she's always carrying around plates of raw fish, or claiming that I can't get drunk because I would feel it in my knees. That's why I love AI. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Although these were amusing right now, my dad felt that it would be quite unsettling if it was being used by grieving relatives. That worry ties into one of the biggest ethical worries about dead bots. How do you control what they say and who they say it to? Story Files' parent company, Authentic Interactions, has pioneered something called the Digital Likeness Directive to help customers control their replicas. However, Dr. Jones admits that the regulation of grief tech is kind of a Wild West. A lot of big tech companies think the technology allows us to do it, therefore we should just do it, and we'll apologize later. This is something that is causing a lot of anxiety for researchers looking into how dead bots stand to reshape the grieving process. Pascal Paumann, a researcher investigating grief tech at the University of, I believe this is Utrecht, told the Daily Mail her biggest worry was turning the dead into a business opportunity. I think we've already gone past that part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ms. Paumann says, do we really want to give people in Silicon Valley the power to decide how we should be grieving or have them perpetuate ideas of grief and death as limitations to overcome? Some of these bot developers seem to want to eradicate grief, thinking it is fundamentally bad when really it is fundamentally human. Researchers have even warned that allowing dead bots to haunt the living could interfere with the process of grieving and prevent people from moving on. Let me show you the pictures of this guy and his grief bots. And you tell me if it even looks like him. On the left is the author, and on the right is his grief bot.
Ew.
Yeah.
The grief bot actually is better looking, but still it's creepy.
It is creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I
don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just plain creepy. Yeah. I don't even think that the grief bot looks like him.
I think it looks a little bit like him, but it's still,
yeah,
it's unnerving.
It is. It's unnerving. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that I'd do it.
I wouldn't.
Mm-mm. No. And for what reason, right? I mean, if it's just going to say a bunch of goofy shit.
Yeah, I already say that.
Right. You know,
My was like, what?
I can record a video for people if they want to watch it over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And say a bunch of goofy shit.
Uh-huh.
I don't need AI to do it for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, let's move on to our next story. A 24-year-old paranormal content influencer died in a car crash after destroying a cursed statue.
That's what she gets.
Oh, wow.
F around and find out.
That one hurts.
I'm just kidding. That's being harsh.
Popular Chinese influencer has died in a car crash just 1 year after she controversially destroyed a statue of the Buddhist goddess of mercy called Guanyin. I guess you're right. I guess she did F around and find out, didn't she? This is a picture of her here. Again, 24 is a young age.
That is young.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
Yeah. So that's an incredibly, incredibly young age. An online content influencer has died at just the age of 24 shortly after destroying an allegedly cursed statue. Renowned content creator Jiang Xiaoru caused controversy after she destroyed a statue that depicted Guanyin, who's the goddess of mercy, in August of 2025. So it'll be a year here. Actually, it's been a year. Jiang's video showing her destruction of the statue that depicts the Buddhist figure drew a lot of attention when it was posted online last year. At the time, Jiang reportedly said that she was experimenting to test what the consequences of her actions would be.
Well, there you go. You found out.
Yep. You effed around and you definitely found out. So congrats on that. Jiang told her followers as she smashed the clay statue that she was interested to see how long she would last as part of a superstition experiment, saying, "Let's see how long I can live." Really?
She's just probably trying to get likes, not thinking anything would happen.
I guess. Following Jiang's smashing of the statue, her followers slammed what she had done, calling the move disrespectful. Some social media users have linked the video of Jiang destroying the statue to her tragic death at such a young age. Jiang was a popular online content creator with over 1 million followers of Douyin, a popular social media platform in China, which is the Chinese version of TikTok. For the most part, her content centered on the paranormal and abandoned buildings, as well as her interest in the paranormal world in general. According to reports, the controversial content creator died from injuries sustained in a car crash earlier this month on August 10th, just over a month after her final video was posted on July 9th, which saw her make phone calls to numbers suggested by her followers. According to the tab, Jiang was traveling from Guangxi to Guangzhou when the vehicle she was in collided with another vehicle. It was later reported by local media that Jiang was rushed to Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hospital where she was treated for, but later succumbed to her injuries. An investigation into the circumstances behind the incident are ongoing. In a statement on her Douyin account, the family made a statement requesting that people refrain from spreading unverified information about their relative's death. They said, here, her family and friends earnestly request everyone respect the facts, refrain from spreading unverified information, do not forward content involving privacy, and please stop making excessive speculations about her and her family. For those who wish to express their condolences, please let your concern be expressed as a quiet blessing so that she may remain dignified and respectable in everyone's memory. Thank you again for your support of Jiang Zhaoru. May she rest in peace, and please allow her friends the necessary privacy. That's sad indeed.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very pretty girl, too. I don't understand why tempt fate, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you at the best, you're going to be cursed, right?
Right.
In some way. At the worst, you're going to die. Why take the chance?
Right. I'm so superstitious, I wouldn't even mess around with that stuff.
Yeah. I've had my fair share of bad luck in my day. I wouldn't take the chance.
Yeah.
But some people need to literally F around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of effing around and finding out, Kaia Gerber says she underwent an exorcism as a child. It says she's never talked about it until now. Kaia Gerber, of course, is the child of Randy Gerber and Cindy Crawford. She's currently promoting her role in the series The Shards. Have you seen the commercial for this thing?
I actually am watching it.
Oh, are you watching it?
Uh-huh.
How is it?
It's actually good. It's by the guy that does crap, and now I'm drawing a blank. He does the American Horror.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's really funny is that one of the characters in the show is the son of Richard Gere, and Cindy Crawford used to be married to Richard Gere.
Oh, yeah. Well, they dated, didn't they? Or were they married?
No, they were married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His son, Homer, which I don't know why you would name your son Homer. But anyway.
Big Simpsons fan, I guess.
Yeah. Homer is in the show. And I think they play like love interests, or he likes her in the show. And so it's kind of funny because it's almost incestuous if you think about it.
A little bit, right? Yeah. They could have been brother sister at one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Kaia Gerber says she once underwent an exorcism because she was haunted as a child. In an interview with the Mitch Chury Chat Show, Gerber spoke about appearing in the 10th season of the FX horror anthology American Horror Story. My mom gave me holy water to go to set with because she was like, I don't want you to get possessed. The 24-year-old Gerber said, I was told I was possessed as a child. Asked to clarify, Gerber said, I was just possessed. I was haunted my whole life. Gerber, the daughter of Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber, then added, I actually did, when asked if she underwent an exorcism. Do you know how they did the exorcism? They played a didgeridoo all over me. That's how they did the exorcism, she added with a straight face. And then she actually mimed how they did it, which looked hysterical. A didgeridoo, by the way, is an ancient wind instrument from Australia. You know, that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they did over her. Asked again to clarify whether that happened, the model and actress responded, that actually did happen. I never talked about it, but that actually did happen. Gerber is currently promoting the new FX show, The Shards, in which she stars as Susan Reynolds. The show is an adaptation of Bret Easton Ellis's acclaimed 2023 novel of the same name, which sees a group of high school seniors at an elite Los Angeles prep school hunted by a serial killer in 1981. Ellis's other works include Less Than Zero and American Psycho. So there's a good pedigree there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they reference Less Than Zero.
Oh, do they?
In the show, yeah.
Huh.
One of the characters supposedly writes it in the future.
Okay. Well, then there's some reference there. Good deal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the interview's a little insane. The clip is, at least, of her describing her exorcism. It doesn't look believable when you watch the clip.
Right. It's almost like it's more like a shaman protection kind of thing rather than an exorcism. It sounds like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But even the way she describes it, you're like, come on.
Yeah, well.
That can't be real.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, however much they paid for that is too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I could have done that out in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're healed. That'll be $800, please.
Yeah.
Don't forget to take my card on the way out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm available most days. By the way, high five the chipmunk on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good luck chipmunk. Yeah. Our next story is a bit of an odd one. We're going to Illinois for the next one. A Northside crematorium ordered to stop accepting remains amid an investigation, according to the state comptroller. Yeah. Some odd things going on in Illinois. A separate investigation into decomposing bodies. There we go. Cremated remains continues at the Southeast Side Funeral Home. The Illinois Office of Comptroller announced this past weekend it is investigating Bohemian National Cemetery and Crematorium on Chicago's North Side. It has been ordered not to accept any more remains. The development comes after a separate investigation at a funeral home on Chicago's Southeast Side found 56 decomposing bodies and more than 50 cremated remains. There we go.
Ew.
Yeah. You, indeed. Comptroller Susana Mendoza's office said late Saturday it was alerted about possible violations at the crematory located at Bohemian Cemetery grounds late afternoon on July 22nd. Their office staff visited the site first thing in the morning on July 23rd and found multiple equipment failures and some human remains waiting to be cremated that were not maintained at the proper temperature. Again with the ew, right?
Yeah, little rape.
Yeah. Mendoza shared statement on the investigation saying in part, at the time of our visit, 35 individuals at the facility were waiting to be cremated. This has been completed, and nearly all the cremated remains have been returned to their respective families. The investigation is ongoing, and potential disciplinary action is being discussed. Meanwhile, investigators are still working to piece together the situation at South Chicago Chapel. Saturday night, ABC 7 learned Chicago police found more than 50 containers with cremated remains inside. The Cook County Medical Examiner now has those remains as police work to contact the next of kin. Close to 60 decomposing bodies were found at South Chicago Chapel on Thursday. As the other investigation at Bohemian continues, the IOC says cemetery burials and cemetery visiting hours have not been affected and remain unchanged. ABC 7 is working to determine if the Bohemian facility is linked to the investigation at South Chicago Chapel.
Oh.
That's messy.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the families.
Yeah. Especially since you expect them to be caught up and,
Yeah.
if they can't handle the workload, to slow down, right?
Yeah.
Or to take that workload and to push it off to other factories.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's disturbing.
Yeah.
We move on to Colorado, where a couple encountered Bigfoot while driving through Colorado. A woman and her husband came across a large, unexplained bipedal creature estimated to be around 9 feet in height. Something strange is lurking around the forests of Colorado. That is, at least according to the testimony of a woman whose experience was submitted to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or BFRO. The incident, which occurred on July 28th, began while she was passing through Hinsdale County with her husband in the car, and she had been looking out of the window, hoping to spot wildlife. As she looked out, a large creature stepped out of the woods at the side of the road. I watched as he turned to the right and started to walk uphill along the edge of the woods, she recalled. Its gait was a glide. The color was a dark blackish brown. The head was kind of molded into the shoulders. The arms were long and very hairy. I would bet it stood 7 to 9 foot tall based on the size of the small spruce trees. She was so surprised by what she was seeing that she could hardly get her words out. Well, her husband didn't see the creature at the time. When they went back to the place where he had emerged from the trees, they discovered a strange footprint on the ground. We have never even thought about Bigfoot-type creatures really existing, and we're skeptical about sightings, he said. I have no doubt that Lori saw what she saw. I've never seen her react like she did. To date, no definitive explanation for the encounter has ever been found. Well, I got one. Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Right.
Yeah. Y'all saw Bigfoot. New Loch Ness Monster sighting sees 2026 total exceed last year's. So already they've seen the Loch Ness Monster more this year than they did last. Now, you might call BS on it, but a lot of these are by video, by the way, from last year. But the 9th sighting of the enigmatic creature has been recorded now at the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register. There are few cryptozoological creatures that are as widely debated as the Loch Ness Monster, a large prehistoric dinosaur-like beast that is said to frequent the deep, dark waters of Scotland's Loch Ness. Regardless of whether it actually exists, however, each year, locals and visitors alike report sightings of strange things in the water, dark shapes, wakes, and disturbances with no clear explanation. The latest such sighting, which marks the 9th of 2026, beating last year's total with several months still to go, occurred near Orcourt Castle on July 21st. According to the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register, the witness, a tourist from Australia, spotted a dark green, flat-topped head protruding from the water some distance from the shore. The head was followed by 2 same-colored humps that emerged out of the water behind the head, which he thought would be the body, said a registered spokesperson. Then he saw ripple lines about 500 meters behind the humps, and it made quite decent white waves, which he expected was from the tail swimming through the water. After the tail swished water over its head, and then it swam back down below the water. Is this a picture from? I guess it is. Let me see if you see what he sees in just this brief picture.
Okay.
You see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure he has something there.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it is, but I mean, I see something.
You see something rippling out of the water there? I do.
Yeah.
I mean, with the enhanced blow up of the picture, I see something.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you at first look at it, it doesn't look like much, but
Right.
But when they blow it up, you do see a little something coming out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I say it's a salamander.
Yeah. It's a big salamander.
Mm-hmm. And finally today, a teenage boy has suffered temporary hearing loss after listening to cicadas for 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, not a great story, right? Although, how close was he to these cicadas that he lost his hearing?
Did it get in his ear?
Right. Well, let's find out. An 18-year-old boy in China suffered temporary hearing loss and required medical treatment after being exposed to high-pitched cicada sounds for over 4 hours. Most people believe that natural sounds are harmless to human health, but a recently reported incident proves that there are some exceptions. An 18-year-old boy surnamed Wang, you heard it here first, went camping in a forest in Ningbo, Zhejiang province, where he was exposed to the clicking sounds of hundreds of cicadas for several hours, which affected his hearing. Wang noticed that the cicada noises became noticeably louder around noon, but he remained in the forest until evening when he began experiencing tinnitus and a sensation of fullness in his ears. As the cicadas started going silent, he noticed that he couldn't hear the chirping of birds or even the notification sounds of his phone. That's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Terrified that he would lose his hearing completely, Wang went straight to the hospital, where a quick checkup revealed that both his ears were swollen. He was prescribed medicine to bring down the swelling and advised to avoid loud noises for at least 14 days. Luckily, after 2 weeks, the teenage boy healed completely. Many people mistakenly think that the sounds of nature are harmless to their ears. Li Ji, that's a nice name, a senior doctor, Li Ji, a senior doctor in the otorhinolaryngology. Wow, that's a long name. Otorhinolaryngology department, or ear, nose, and throat. Did you know that was what an ear, nose, and throat doctor was called?
No, I did not.
Otorhinolaryngology. Huh. Department of Ningbo University, #1 affiliated hospital, explained. Cicadas are recognized as the world's loudest insect, but one single cicada can't really cause any hearing damage, as its clicking rarely surpasses 70 decibels. The problem is that a choir of cicadas can exceed 85 decibels, the threshold past which hearing damage occurs. The hair cells in the cochlea can develop its edema due to the irritation from loud noises for a relatively short duration. They typically recover after avoiding the noisy environment and resting for 1 to 2 weeks, Dr. Lee explains. However, if the hair cells become necrotic, they cannot regenerate. The resulting hearing impairment is permanent and irreversible, forcing the patient to rely on hearing aids for auditory assistance. That's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting indeed. Well, you know what happens then? Then you go and you go find those cicadas and you puncture their little eardrums with a pin and get them back.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
jeez Louise.
Yeah. And it's, eye for an eye, ear for an ear. Yeah. Then you get them back. That's what I say. Get them back, those little bastards. I don't know, man.
Watch, they're going to descend on you now.
Yeah, because I'm cursed.
Yep.
So the cicadas will be after me now. They'll come.
I like the sound of them, though. Reminds me of childhood.
Cicadas do?
Yeah, just kind of, summertime.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's a weird noise, but it reminds me of summertime.
It does.
As a kid.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Them there cicadas.
Uh-huh.
And it's time now for our palate cleanser. We've got the palate cleanser here today, of course. A little something to take our mind off of everything supernatural. I got to ask you.
Yes.
Do you consider your dogs cute?
Of course.
I mean, really?
Well, they're so ugly, they're cute.
Okay. Now, would you ever enter your dogs into a world's ugliest dog contest?
No, because they're not that ugly.
Okay. So you think they have some redeeming qualities?
Yes. Because I've seen the ones that are entered into the ugly contest and oof.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't like their dog. Let me introduce you to a 6-year-old pug who was honored with the title of World's Ugliest Dog at the annual contest in California. Isn't this sad? I mean, when someone goes, you know what, my dog is butt ugly, I'm gonna win a prize.
Yeah, but I'm an owner of pugs.
The pug's name is Ginny Lou. This is Ginny Lou right here. I don't know if you can see Ginny Lou through the play button. Maybe it's a blessing that you can't.
Oh,
that's Ginny Lou.
Your camera just moved, but I saw the beginning of it.
Right there?
There we go.
That's Ginny Lou.
Uh-huh.
I think Ginny Lou is as beautiful as most dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to punish Ginny. Most dogs look like each other. I mean, that's not being racist. I'm just saying that most dogs look like each other. So how do you know one dog from another? How do you know that one's not as cute as the other? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ginny Lou, who came in second last year, was dubbed the winner of the 2026 World's Ugliest Dog Contest at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds in Santa Rosa. You know what they say, Mallie, if at first you don't succeed, try again?
Uh-huh.
Well, evidently Ginny Lou tried again and she won.
Oh.
Yeah. The annual event, which aims to celebrate the unique beauty of dogs and promote adoption, marked its 50th anniversary this year. For 50 years, this event has celebrated the uniqueness of every dog while sharing an important message of compassion, rescue, and acceptance. By calling them ugly? I don't think so. That's according to Mandy Clendenin, who is the CEO of the Sonoma Marin Agricultural Association. Has anyone ever called Mandy ugly just to see how it tries out on her?
Oh.
Well, I mean, come on. If we can call the dog ugly, we can call the CEO ugly too, can't we?
Mm. But I mean, okay, so have you ever seen A League of Their Own?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know Marla Hooch?
Yeah.
The lady from who's not very attractive looking?
Right.
That's what I named my dog after.
Yeah.
Marla Hooch. And she's part pug.
Yeah. Part pug?
So, yep. Part Boston Terrier. And she is
Oh.
quite the looker. But that's why we named her Marla Hooch.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, she's beautiful to somebody, right?
Exactly. Me.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Face only mama can love.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Ginny Lou was rescued from the dog meat trade in South Korea.
Oh, God.
It's a happy ending.
I know, but still. I thought they outlawed that. Didn't they recently outlaw that?
One can hope.
The meat trade thing? Okay, go on. Sorry.
And brought to the United States for adoption by a pair of California rescue groups. She was adopted 4 years ago by Eucla resident Michelle Grady. Ginny Lou and Grady were awarded with a trophy and a $5,000 prize. The pug's face will also appear on a limited run of mug root beer cans. Aw, see, Ginny Lou's a star now.
Yeah.
She doesn't need you people.
Good for her.
An albino Chihuahua and a Pomeranian mix named Pinky was this year's runner-up, receiving a $3,000 prize. A Chihuahua mix named Otto came in third and received $2,000.
Okay.
Yeah. There's money all around. Start throwing it in the air. So there you go. Those are your winners this year at the Ugly Dog Contest. Everybody wins, though.
Yeah. Love it.
And the best part, nobody gets turned into dog meat in South Korea.
Yeah.
See? You got to love it.
Yep.
I don't know that that's still a thing. You know what? I should Google it real
I thought that or at least in China, they stopped doing it.
And yeah, in China, I don't think it's a thing. Is it still a thing in South Korea, though? I should, you know what? I'm going to look it up real quick because
I know this is funny, but on Lisa Vanderpump,
yeah.
she used to rescue dogs, and that was a big thing that they were trying to get fixed, was the no dogs to be eaten. And I thought it was China, but maybe it was North Korea or South Korea, sorry, that they got it to stop.
Let's see. Does the dog meat trade still exist in South Korea?
So sad, though.
Nope. They passed a bill to ban consumption of dog meat.
Good.
This was, let's see when this happened. This was in 2024, January 2024. Okay. So it has not been in existence for 2 years.
Good.
Yeah. So we don't need to worry about it anymore.
Yay.
But maybe there's some sick bastard that likes pate out there. No, I'm kidding. I'm just ribbing, you know.
Right.
It's
That's duck
horrible.
anyway, isn't it?
It's what?
Duck. Pate is duck.
Maybe they mispronounced duck and said dog.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that, but you know.
You did.
I have a horrible sense of humor. Yes, I did. All right. With that, what do you got going on for the next week here, Mal?
You know what? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I just know I'm busy.
Yes, you're very busy.
I can't think straight.
You've been putting in many hours. Yeah,
just keeping busy. How about you?
Tomorrow on the big program, boy, we have an interesting one. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
We are going to be talking to, I believe it is Peter Sacco tomorrow, Peter Andrew Sacco, who is going to combine. It's an interesting topic tomorrow. We're going to be talking about paranormal investigation, but we're going to be combining it with, follow me here. He talks about paranormal investigation, but combines it with criminal investigation and how the two should be similar.
Oh, okay.
So he draws parallels between the two and why you should bring the techniques of criminal investigation into your paranormal investigation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And I find it highly fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So,
does he have a book?
Yes. There's books out there. There's other information out there. He also has a website. So we're gonna take a quick run down that rabbit hole tomorrow with Peter Andrew Sacco. So, yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting program. I found it highly intriguing when we were talking about it. So
to look at it as a criminal investigation, huh?
Yeah. Well, to incorporate the
techniques
of a criminal investigation into a paranormal investigation.
Okay.
Yeah. So found it fascinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I think it's. Again, I don't want to speak for him because I don't have all the information in front of me right this moment, but I think it's to build up the integrity of that paranormal investigation.
Ah.
Yeah. But we'll get more examples from Peter tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So it sounds very, very intriguing. I think people will enjoy it.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So that's tomorrow on the big program. And we got lots of good stuff coming down the pike here in September. So even for the rest of August, but even into September. So we got lots of good stuff coming up. And of course, if you have a guest you'd like to hear, you can get a hold of me, tim@darknessradio.com. We always, and please, if you're going to submit a guest referral, have some sort of contact with it as well. Just don't say, I would like to hear from so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Send some sort of reference with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of contact. All right. That'll do it for today. A couple of reminders before we leave you today. One, the Darkness Radio Apple app's available and downloadable. Go to the Apple Store and do that. Also, update your app if you haven't already. Two, if you're listening to the show and not viewing the show, you can do so by going to our YouTube page, The Original Darkness Radio, or you can just go to darknessradioshow.com, click on the show you want to watch, and the video should be there. And then three, support the show. Go to darknessradioshow.com, and you can order either True Crime Tuesday swag or Darkness Radio swag, and we'd appreciate it. All proceeds from the sale of that swag go right back into the show and support the show. So please do so. We'd appreciate it. All right. Peter Andrew Sacco tomorrow, and we'll talk about how we should incorporate elements of criminal investigation into paranormal investigation. That's coming up tomorrow right here on Darkness Radio. For Mallie Fox, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for continuing to listen and watch the best in paranormal podcasting. You've been listening to and watching Darkness Radio.